Hey, if you don't like videos that kind of sound like the person is complaining the entire time, then you might want to click out of this video, because looking back, I know I'm gonna criticize myself and just say that I'm complaining like a little bitch and need to shut up. But I also really believe that the videos where I am emotionally vulnerable and raw are great for me to look back on. They're also very therapeutic for me to be able to verbalize my feelings and talk it out. And if I had a therapist or whatever, this is what I would be doing, and I find it very helpful and beneficial. Not only that, but I try to reflect a very honest version of me online, and that includes moments like this. So thumbs up if I don't cry during this entire video. I'm filming my morning and night routine videos for my main channel today, and I had to take a break from filming my night routine on my way home from school because I was just crying the entire car ride. And when I just got home, and I couldn't do it. And I knew today would be very, very stressful. Like, I just woke up very sad and very stressed for a lot of reasons. I wasn't even going to do my morning routine today because I laid in bed just thinking I can't do it. Like, I can't. And I just thought maybe if I forced myself to film, it would help me, because vlogging usually makes me happy, and it's not that I'm putting on a happy front when I'm filming, but I do my best to act happy and to be a really good person. I thought maybe if I started filming my routines as planned, it would change and I would just feel better, but I ended up having to pause and stop filming because, like, it wasn't enough. Can we, like, cover this, please? Lately, I have been having really, really bad dreams, like lucid, well, okay, all of my dreams are lucid dreams. They're all dreams that, like, play into realities. It's like an alternative universe. I just feel like I'm in the upside down, but lately they have just been awful, to the point where I can't sleep. And I know that they're all anxiety and stress based, because a very, very common dream to get that shows that, like, you're very anxious, you're going through something, is like your teeth falling out. And every single time I have a dream, there's this one tooth that is hanging out as if I'm like 12 years old and losing a molar, and you can, like, put your tongue inside it and it hurts and I can feel it. And every day I, like, wake up and have to feel that tooth because in my dream it's like falling out and my mouth is just in shambles. And so I know that I'm stressed, and I know that I'm very anxious right now, and that with someone that battles a lot of, that's a really strong word for this, but with someone that is easily influenced by mental stuff, these are triggers, and that when you're stressed or you're anxious or there's stuff going on, it's more likely to affect you in various parts of your life. And I'm feeling it, and I don't like that. I feel really sad. I'm reaching my limit. I know that when I'm faced in a situation where it's like fight or flight, I freeze, and I've never really, like, grown up learning how to work through something. It's either like, I just think in extremes, and I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking in extremes and I can't do it anymore. I don't really talk about it because it's embarrassing and it's very vulnerable to say, but school, I don't love it. I mean, I love it. I don't love my situation with school, and I wish I had the opportunity to do a more normal situation. I hate that I have to commute to school, and I hate that I, like, missed out on all these college, like, opportunities, and I hate that I, like, transferred so many times because I can't get that time back, and I never really got to, like, experience a college that I loved. And so now I'm just, like, trying to graduate as soon as possible so I can, like, go to grad school and then stay and, like, finally, like, choose a school that I love and stay there and be able to, like, experience what I wanted out of college. But commuting is so difficult and stressful living at home. Like, I'm 22 and I hate that I'm still here. I never thought when I was struggling as a teenager in the same bedroom, the only thing I had at the end of the tunnel was like, you're so close, you're almost 18, you're gonna graduate high school, like you're moving out soon. And she never, like my younger self never would have thought that like I would be here still at 22. And it's so hard because I spent a year not in school and I was working, and I could have afforded to live on my own, but like I was working so I could go back to school, and I can't afford to live on my own and continue my education at the same time. Like my parents don't help me with anything, and I know that it's very common when you're in college for your parents to like have like a tuition fund or to like help you with rent. Like I feel like it's so hard to relate. It's so hard to relate to some of my friends because their parents are still helping them, and it's not a bad thing. I just like, I don't have that option. And I'm not trying to say that in like a pity or like feel sorry for me kind of way. I just like, it's the truth. And so with that in mind, I couldn't even like pay to stay in school, to be honest. Like I fucked up my financial aid, and I took a summer class that wasn't covered by my financial aid, and I didn't realize that until August when the class was in May, and they were like, psych, you can't go to school anymore because you owe this much money and your financial aid didn't cover it, and I don't have that. It was like a couple thousand, and they put everything on hold, and I just like thought I wasn't gonna stay in school, which is why I had to create that GoFundMe to try to like stay in school, which I really didn't want to do because I felt like there were so many better fundraisers and things on GoFundMe that actually mattered, and I didn't feel like mine was important enough. And everyone kept telling me just like create a GoFundMe, and I did, and it did help a little bit, but I didn't make it all the way. And so luckily I had to change the memory card, so hopefully it's like in a similar spot. But luckily, 2 families that I babysit for, I told them about the situation. I didn't ask them to help. I also can't do that, and I know that. I just like, through therapy as a teenager, I know that it's really difficult for me to accept that I even need help from other people because I'm very independent. But they offered to pay for my tuition so I could finish my senior year of college. It was sort of like they paid me in advance for babysitting. So now I am babysitting a lot more to pay them back for covering what I needed to stay in school, which I am so thankful for. And it was so kind of them to take that on to someone that isn't their own child, but to help in that way. I'm really thankful for that, so that is a good thing. But what I'm getting at is that I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I don't have like enough money, and I hate saying that because finances is such a sticky topic, and I know that like my family just like, I can't get into it with it, but there are so many parts I don't even know where to start. But I need a job. I need to make money so that I can stay in school, so that I can move out, so that I can pay off, you know, my car and my student debt that like I'm already paying loans for. Just starting with today, I pay for parking every single day so I can commute to school. And I had negative dollars in my bank account this morning. So I called my mom, and she covered my parking payment today. I have to pay her back, obviously, but she helped me get out of the parking ramp. As soon as I did that, keep in mind it takes me about 30 minutes to drive home. As soon as I did that on campus, my little gas light went on in my car, and I thought, fuck. I knew I was low on gas, but I thought I would be able to make it home, but it was just, the needle was on empty, and I was so scared because the highway doesn't move. I'm like stopped for at least 20 minutes in like the crux of like the city to the suburbs, and I just knew that like if I entered that freeway, I would not get off, and it would be worse having to call my mom back and say like, I'm out of gas, I'm on the side of the highway. So I took the first exit that I could. It took me downtown. I found a gas station, and I had to call my mom, and I just like and everything just kind of hit me because I couldn't pay for parking, and I couldn't pay to get enough gas to go home, and I need a job. And it's not like I'm sitting over here on a high horse. Like last spring I applied, like I tried so hard to fix all these little problems where it's like, oh, that's because all these voices in my head are telling me like, shut up, Makayla, if you hate commuting to campus, like live on campus, or like take the light rail or the bus, or just get a job. Like there are all these valid reasons. And I applied first I applied for a parking lottery, which is basically just like a pass per semester to park, so you don't have to pay every single day and you save hundreds of dollars, but it pays to enter this lottery to get a parking spot. So I did that and I didn't get a parking spot. So then I applied for housing, and I applied for housing last year so early on in the process. I applied in February and the housing application didn't close until May. So I thought there's no way that like this is going to fail. Like I'll live on campus next year. I won't have to commute. I can save money on gas and parking. I can just like have the college experience. And I didn't get housing. And this is stuff I don't talk about on my main channel because I don't want to like trash the school that I'm at when there's no valid reason, but like I need to talk about it because I didn't get housing because I'm not a first-year student. And housing is reserved for first-year students. Res Life told me to look into off-campus apartments and houses like that, which would be great, but I can't afford that. So then when the semester started now, like just a few weeks ago, I contacted Res Life again because I know that once the semester settles down, there might be some empty dorm rooms, people might drop out. I remember my freshman year of college, we had a lot of people that were living in, we called them dingles. They were double rooms, but they were used as singles because their roommates left, or like I dropped out sophomore year. Someone probably got my single dorm in like October, and so I just knew that like something could happen, and I thought maybe I would get lucky. And so I contacted all the dorms again. I contacted Res Life, and then I contacted all the dorms directly and asked. I explained my situation, that like I just transferred last semester, I still don't have housing, I'm commuting, it's really difficult, is there anything, like is there any room available? And they all said no. Some of them said that they couldn't let me because I wasn't a first year, and that I should look into apartments. And so just like in a fuck it mindset, I contacted some of the cheaper apartments close to the buildings that like I had classes in and asked if they had any availability and what their prices were. And some of them did, although the availability was for like a 4-person apartment that was like $5,000 a semester. And a semester is about 4 to 5 months long, so that's about $1,000 a semester, which is so overpriced when you think about how much a single like studio apartment somewhere else could be. Not to mention I don't even have the money, so I don't even know what I was doing. I just like needed to know. That ties into my own, you know, voice in my head saying live on campus or get a parking spot, or like I don't know, I'm just addressing all these like self-hate criticism that I know I'm telling myself, where it's like don't even complain about this because you can just solve it. Why don't I just take the bus or the light rail? Like yeah, that would be great. I don't know why I can't do that. I know part of it is my anxiety, part of it is I've never done it before. And I remember last year in my lit theory course we had this huge feminism talk. Every female in the class had a story about when someone, you know, said something about their body to them, or when they were harassed or assaulted, and everyone but me related on how they would never take the light rail at night and how they never like to take it like by themselves or at certain times because of all the different stories of when guys had touched them, or when someone like said something to them, or when they didn't feel comfortable. I don't want to be by myself for like 20 minutes on public transit feeling uncomfortable or getting catcalled and like all this stuff, because it happens and I hate when it happens and I don't like not feeling safe. And my city just has had a lot of shootings, and so I really like, I'm gonna put my safety over the easiest solution, which is taking public transit to campus. So maybe that's dumb and you just like don't understand why I'm doing that, but I can't do it. And it's not that I'm sitting over here on my high horse not trying to get a job. I tried to solve all these problems rationally last spring before the fall started to save myself from this. And I applied for work study, I applied for a job within my major, like within my department on campus. There were some issues there. Like I remember I sent in my application, the advisor said that she would contact me for an interview within this week, like a certain week if I got the job, and I didn't hear back for that entire week and the following week after. So it was like a done deal in my head, where it's like I didn't get the job because she told everyone to like be aware, check your emails this week for an interview, and I didn't get it. And then because it was summer, I wasn't checking my emails often, but then I did get an email from her 2 weeks later saying like, are you still available for an interview? Of course I responded. I responded a day and a half later because I wasn't checking my school email as often in the summer. Plus I wasn't like aware that I would have to like that late, and it bothered me because I did have my other, like on my application I had my phone number, I had like my personal email address, I had better ways to contact me. And so I responded, and then she responded the following Monday saying like, ooh, I didn't hear back from you sooner, so I assumed you didn't want the job. And it was very frustrating. It was upsetting because I just felt teased, where it was like, here's an interview, never mind. So then I worked most of the summer, and I knew that I had to find a job this fall, and I'm working still, like I was working and I still am working to transition my YouTube channel into more of a sturdy paycheck. It's a great bonus every month or so, but it's not enough for me to live off of. If you may have noticed, I started uploading twice a week, and I started uploading like college content and stuff that would hopefully do better because I'm trying everything that I possibly can try to help my situation. At the end of summer, I kind of got an ultimatum from my mom being like, get a job or we're kicking you out, which was said out of anger, and I know she wouldn't do that now, but it's a valid thing. So I thought I got a job that day of even. I work at my alma mater during the summer. I was telling a friend about my situation. She reached out and asked her boss, asking her, where should Makayla work? And she offered me a job during the school year at my high school alma mater. It was such a big blessing, and I was like, this is amazing, like this is meant to be, like of course, like this is wonderful. This was also during the time when my school situation was on the line. I couldn't pay for it. I was trying to figure that out, so I told her that and how that would affect my availability. Once everything was worked out, my alma mater asked me to come in for an interview, and I just went into it thinking, I got this, like there's no doubt they won't hire me, and that's what everyone kept telling me. I've worked with the younger kids at my alma mater for the last 6 summers. I know about 90% of the staff. I work well with them. I understand the culture and community of the school. This is where I graduated from. I've been like, this is my community. I got this. And I almost feel like she blindsided me too, because I remember when she told me about the position, she said, I'll give you the job, just let me know. And everyone kept working it up, being like, you have this job and all this stuff. And then I went into the interview. There was another higher up professional figure in the interview that was conducting most of it. She just hit me with the hardest questions working with young kids. And it was 10 in the morning. I wasn't expecting it. In my head, I thought, there's no doubt I won't get this. I already work here during the summers. I know everybody. I've known the person that was giving me these questions literally since I entered this school at the age of 3. And she asked me, where do you stand on the principle of discipline? And just like stuff where if I had prepared, maybe I would have done better. But even then, they said I didn't get the job because I wasn't going into education, which is bullshit, because I am going to teach English. Some of the people that work there now, later on, like education isn't their final goal. I didn't get the job. I wasn't expecting that because it was my alma mater, and I just thought there was no way I wouldn't get this. So I have been applying to jobs, but it's also really difficult when it's my senior year of college and I'm taking 4 very extensive like writing and reading courses in my major. Not only that, but today in my poetry class, the girl next to me and I were talking about like our senior project, or it's called our capstone at the University of Minnesota. There's so much stuff that I just did not know, and I feel very unprepared for this year just because I transferred in last spring semester. I don't really know how the school works as great as people that have been here since freshman year do, and she was just telling me about how I need to submit this application by like October something. I need to meet with my college advisor, who is different than my major advisor, and I just didn't know that because he needs to sign something. I need to already know what classes I'm taking next semester. I need to get my graduation approved. I don't even know what I'm taking next semester. I don't even know what the capstone really entails. I just feel very unprepared and stressed and scared that I won't be able to do it, or that I'll fuck up like I did last spring with the financial aid for that class that I took, and that I won't submit anything, or that I'll like forget something or not know that I was supposed to do anything, and then I won't be able to graduate on time or like when I'm expecting to, or just like something's gonna happen. I'm just really overwhelmed right now because I don't know what problem to try to solve first. And I have like 6 to 8 hours of homework that I should be doing. But I'm trying to dedicate time to YouTube so that I can make money. But I also need to try to find a job where I could work just a couple days a week, which is difficult because they want to hire someone that's available. I want to be able to solve all these issues, like living closer to school, or like not needing to commute, or just, I don't know what to do because everything just kind of sucks right now, and I know that I'm probably being dramatic. I'm gonna edit this back and be like, Makayla, you were such a complaining little bitch, like everyone's gonna hate you, and that there are all these conflicting voices, and I don't like complaining. I don't like talking about myself. I don't like pitying myself in a way that might sound like I'm trying to ask for pity, because I'm not. I just needed to talk it out and breathe. I just feel very helpless and hopeless And I don't like how when things start to get really stressful and overwhelming, I think in extremes. So like I don't really know how to work them out. I just have very, very rash thoughts. The last time I was stressed out in college, I dropped out, basically. I just give up, and I know that my mind is very close to giving up, and I don't know how to stop it because I'm too stressed. I'm done. Every part of my life, like my family life is just stressful because everyone just keeps telling me, like, I don't know, I can't really talk about that. And like, I don't know, even my boyfriend and I, we've been having stupid arguments. Like every time we hang out, we're just like not clicking, and we're just like disagreeing a lot right now, and it's irritating because I don't have like a soft cushion right now to fall back on besides like myself. I never really felt like my family was there for me to fall back on because they're like the source of a lot of stress, and I don't feel like I have anyone right now to fall back on, which I know probably isn't true, but I just like have such a narrow mindset right now that I just feel very alone. School is crazy. Okay, well, this is a really long video, but thanks for watching, I guess. Don't hate me too much after this. Feelings are very fleeting, especially mine, because I tend to think in rapid, irrational thoughts. And I know that there are so many things going on in the world that deserve so much more attention than I do, and that there are so many bigger issues in life than this, because I just feel like all mine are insignificant, and it's hard to find the significance in my existence at times, especially when I feel this way. But that's why I was crying on the way home from school today. And that's why I couldn't film the rest of my main channel video. I need to get my shit together and eat something because I need to go babysit for the family that paid for my tuition, so thank you. Thanks for watching, and please don't unsubscribe. Oh my god, I'm a mess.